guys? This is just one guy, and I'm back here again doing a little analyzing of the Witcher 3's combat system. And this video is a bit different, but it's just to show you a little behind the scenes on how I come up with a lot of my ideas and some of the research I do. Now, again, when I was creating my combat system for the Mistborn game, I wanted it to be a cross between the Devil May Cry 5 system and the Witcher 3 system. And so I had to go back and analyze a lot of the systems, the combat systems of the game. And so when I went into Witcher 3 and analyzed some of the systems, some of the stuff I noticed was pretty shocking. And one of the things that I didn't notice as a player from The Witcher 3 is how much the AI plays the game for you. And I might say, what do I mean by that? Let's just go in game and I'll show you. Now, right here, in the point in the game, I was farming red mutagens, which are pretty hard to get in the game. So these enemies are pretty high level, but they don't really present too much of a danger to me. Mainly because I know how the system works. Now, the first thing you'll notice is that Geralt is soft targeting enemies. Now, he does this automatically, and the player has no control over it. That's the first AI system. It automatically faces Geralt towards the enemy. Now, it's a bit more, it's a lot more complex than you would think, because not only does it face Geralt towards the enemy automatically, if Geralt's back is turned, it decides which enemy to face. So you have two AI systems right there. One deciding to target the enemy, and another deciding which enemy to target. And if you, I put up a tutorial video when I was, a bit hard. It's hard to play the game and talk. I put up a tutorial video where I was replicating the system, and I show one of the ways I replicate it. Now, the system determining which enemy Geralt faces, that's something right there. Another thing, you can see how my back was turned towards the enemy, but when I backslashed, Geralt didn't turn around. He slashed backwards. Oh my god, I might bit off more than I can chew with this. Just gonna run away here. Oh god. See if we can run away, so I can finish talking in peace. Now you have this first system, which controls which enemy Geralt faces. Now, what determines that is which enemy the camera is looking at, how close the enemy is, which enemy attacked Geralt last, and which enemy is Geralt currently trying to attack. Now, I was able to replicate each and every one of those systems, but what I couldn't replicate was the AI which decides which enemy to attack at which time, which I couldn't exactly figure out how it worked. I have a lot of mods installed, and I know it's a mod which modifies the soft targeting system and completely takes it off. So I imagine the modders know exactly how it works. And by the way, I have a lot of mods installed here, so none of them affect combat though. So that's the first two AI systems, the soft targeting system and the system deciding which enemy to target with the soft targeting system. Another one is a system that you might not think about. Now, if I try to attack backwards, you can see Geralt attacks forward. So again, the AI is playing the game for you because it decides that you need to attack towards the enemy, even if you directly tell the AI you want to attack backwards instead of forwards. And then, of course, you have the other AI system determining which attack animation you should play every time you do the attack animation. And all together, these systems may not seem like much, but when you learn how the systems work, you can see that the AI plays the game a lot for you, and you don't have to play the game. Now the biggest way to get the AI plays the game. Let me attack this guy. If I attack him and he does that little attack there, you can see I don't actually have to dodge his attack. As long as I'm playing the dodge animation, it dodges, even if I clearly should be hit. You see right there, he should have hit me, but since I'm just playing the dodge animation, he can't hit me. Now that was something interesting I noticed a long time ago, and this has its ups and downs. The upside is if you're a player with low skill, it makes you feel like you have a lot more skill, and it makes you feel more like Geralt, who's supposed to be flowing and super fast and have superhuman reflexes. You feel like you can dodge anything. But the downside is if you're been playing a game for a while, it gets kind of boring because the combat in Witcher 3 will never change. No matter what level you at, it's always going to be a dodge and attack type of combat. At least that's the most effective way to play it. I assume you could play it differently. Well, you can't really play it differently, except just to take all the hits. But the level up system or the progression in the combat doesn't come from getting better at dodging or getting better at attacking or being more strategic. It comes from getting Geralt weapon and equipment up. That way he can take more hits and deal more damage. And that's because the AI basically does everything for you. Like the dodge system is pretty easy. The AI also decides when you attack, how you attack. No matter what direction I'm pressing it when I attack, it doesn't really matter. He's always going to attack towards the enemy, even when I'm not directly locked on. It'll just be the soft lock system. So you have all these different AI systems affecting the game, and it's a really nice system. It's not really a bad system. It just has its bad points and good points, like every game. The bad point being that once you get good at the game and you know how to trick the game, uh, it, it becomes super easy. Like you can see here, I'm just dodging back, and while I'm dodging back, I'm literally invincible. And that was something that surprised me when I went to replicate the system, is how much the AI plays the game. Now I can never completely replicate the system, and that's mainly because of these animations. If you look at the way Geralt dodges, he doesn't ever turn his back to the enemy intentionally. Like he doesn't ever turn around. If he does have his back to the enemy, it's because there are two enemies. And even then, when he's attacking backwards, he doesn't attack backwards. Try to demonstrate it here. He doesn't attack backwards. He doesn't turn around to attack. He simply turns and attack in one slash. And that's all the animations. Now, I could replicate the animation system, but I would have to have the actual animations for that. Because a lot of it is, I can tell, an AI system which determines which attack animation Geralt should play based on the position of the enemy relative to the position of Geralt. Like you can see right there. Now, that's a mod right there, the slowdown animation. Oh my god, they actually almost killed me. I guess if I was really paying attention, I'd be better at the game. But I'm just trying to show off, no, well, not show off the points that I'm making. Not to mention these are pretty high level enemies for me. I'm at like level 10. That guy's at like level 18. But that was one of the things that was shocking to me, how many AI systems are involved in the combat and how much it plays the game for you. And the benefit of this is you have a player that feels a lot more skilled than they are, rather than a Dark Souls type thing where you would have to manually dodge and you have to manually choose the direction you can dodge. I don't even think I have to choose a direction. Yeah, he just automatically dodges. Like if I don't hit a direction, he dodges back automatically. So you can if you wanted to, you can literally just hit 2 buttons and win the game. Like dodge, attack, attack. And that's the beauty of this combat system. It's really not simplistic because it's actually very complicated. Well, the code running it is complicated, but the player input is not that complicated. Now, I saw this system before in Arkham Asylum and Arkham Knight. Arkham Knight didn't do it so well. Arkham Asylum did it the best. What a lot of people don't realize about that system, I'll do one of these for that game too. Is in that game, it was similar to this, but when you at the end of the game, it became a lot more strategic because you had enemies with shields and enemies that could throw stuff at you, and enemies with I think taser guns and actual guns, which could only be dealt with in specific ways. So while it had all these AI systems playing a game for you, uh, if they threw like 50 enemies at you, it was pretty complicated. Not just because of the number of enemies, but because each enemy had to be taken out in a specific way, which made the whole game a lot more strategic. But these are just some of the things I noticed from playing The Witcher 3 and looking at the combat system from a game developer's point of view rather than a player. Anyway, I hope you like the content. That's it for today. Thank you for watching.